Well, welcome back to another edition of 42nd Street Pete's Grindhouse for the Halloween extravaganza. And first off, a shout out to some guys that stopped by over the last Wasteland weekend. Jim Nestor, Ross Meyer, Brandon Sparrow, and Holly stopped by. So it was always good to see you guys, you know, even though can't go to that show. It's just good when friends just drop by, hang out, smoke some weed, drink whatever, and just shoot the shit in general. So it's all good. Another thing is, I wanted to raise some money for this hurricane stuff, but it seems it's never ending. I got some stuff up on Facebook. But you know what? You don't need me to donate to relief funds. I mean, there's animals in jeopardy. There's people in jeopardies. Lisa from Something Weird Video lost a nephew, a fiance, and two little kids. I mean, it's really fucking horrific. And unfortunately, I'm strapped. I was trying to sell some stuff. It's on Facebook. But like I say, you let your conscience be your guide. Find some way to get some money and help to these people because they are our friends, our family, our fans, whatever. So let's try to help them out. Let's go back to 1943 with another Universal horror movie that sort of is overlooked, Son of Dracula. Well, this is an interesting film because actually this is the first time they did the whole spell the name backwards and it says Alucard. So it seems that this woman that's into the occult has a really weird interest in the occult, Kay, met Count Alucard in Budapest, Hungary, and arranged for him to come over and spend some time at the family plantation in good old Louisiana on the bayou. Well, the Count's luggage arrives, but there's this big chest that arrives, but not him. So there's some kind of welcoming thing, and Kay's father and sister are there, and her fiance Frank is there, and Alucard don't show up, so Dad's in a wheelchair, and they put Dad to bed, and Alucard appears and drains Dad's blood, and that's the end of Dad. So anyway, Kay is supposed to marry Frank, but she seems to be smitten with Alucard, and decides to go to a justice of the peace and marry him. Well, Frank's a little perturbed that this shows up. The Count tells him that basically he's the master of the house now and he was not that well received. So there's going to be no visitors during the daytime hours because they work and they'll only take visitors at night, and that's not even welcome. It's all fucked up. So Frank gets pissed off, pulls a gun, and shoots the Count. The only problem is the bullets go through the Count and kill Kay. So now he's accused of murder and turns himself in, and they want to see the body, but when they go back, the Count is there, gracious as always, and so is Kay, saying there's nothing wrong, yada, yada, yada. And that's it. Of course, the local doctor has his doubts, and he goes to visit the house and is escorted out by the Count, who's not happy with him trespassing, and basically tells him that, you know, this is the way it is, we don't want anybody around here, even Liz, the sister, who's getting a little upset too. Well, anyway, Frank goes and confesses to the sheriff. They find a body, whatever the hell's going on, but anyway, Frank is put in a jail cell. And a bat flies into the jail cell and sucks his blood. And Kay appears to him, in front of him. Now here's the thing. Everybody probably thinks that the Count, who was actually exposed as Count Dracula, was the villain of the piece. Actually, he's not. He's sort of a victim of some sorts because Kay confides to Frank that this whole thing was a setup, that she had talked her father into changing the will so she gets the house, the plantation on the swamp and stuff like that, and her sister gets the money or whatever. And basically she says, this is what I wanted for us, we're going to live forever, and it's too late for you to back out, and I want you to kill the Count. So Frank gets out of jail and goes to kill the Count, which basically he finds where the Count is resting at night and gets in there while the Count is out and sets the casket on fire. The Count shows up and starts screaming, put it out, put it out, but it's too late to put it out, and the sun is rising, and the Count falls into this body of water. I don't know whether it is part of the swamp or something, and his hand reaches out and turns skeletal with the ring on. Now everybody, the doctor, the sheriff, everybody's heading back to see where Frank is, and is at Kay's house and has basically set her casket on fire, killing her plans for, eternal life with him, whatever. It's kind of weird and contrived, but it actually plays out really well. And I'll tell you something. Chaney as Count Dracula is at his zenith as far as acting. I mean, he pulls it off brilliantly. He's got the little mustache. His hair is starting to gray. I mean, he was a big guy and towers over most of the people in the cast, but his presence makes the film really, really worth watching. And actually, when you think of it, Chaney's the only horror actor that played all three classic monsters. He played the Frankenstein monster in Ghost of Frankenstein. He played the Wolfman in The Wolfman, Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman, House of Dracula, House of Frankenstein, and Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. He also played the Mummy in 3 films, and of course, played Dracula in Son of Dracula. So this was Chaney at his best before, obviously, his demons caught up with him later on in life in the 50s and things. So, again, dig it out. It's definitely worth a look. So that's our show for today. There'll be more Monster Madness tomorrow. So thanks for subscribing. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll catch you on the flip side.